between them. Here Ju-won talks to Yoon Seo in alone and says, "They did not come to know about our relationship yet, and we have to take care of this thing now." And then Ju-won gives her some medicine and says, "You can use this all on your wounds." Yoon Seo says, "Now do not do anything like this, whether my accident happens or anything happens now, our breakup has happened, so we are strangers." Hearing this, Ju-won gets sad. After this, everyone reaches their location where everyone welcomes Ju-won nicely and take him with them to show place. So Ju-won was also doing his work being serious. So seeing him like this, Yoon Seo is happy and says to herself, now he will have to do a lot of work to do. In the next scene, after work is complete, everyone is doing dinner together where everyone was drinking a lot. But Yoon Seo does not do and says, "I have to do some work at this place, that is why I am going to stay here today. I will not go with you people." And then at nighttime when Yoon Seo was walking, just then Ju-won comes there and says, "I have to do some talk with you." And then both walk. So Ju-won praises her and says, "You did work very nicely." So Yoon Seo says, "I am going to quit this job." Hearing this, Ju-won gets shocked and says, "I have already lost you like a lover, now do not want to lose like a colleague." So Yoon Seo says, "We cannot do work like this where, for business trip, we cannot go in car together also, and you stay in your office to not make me feel uncomfortable, and this all is not right." Hearing this, Ju-won gets sad and does not speak anything. After this, Ju-won goes to his mom, where Si-won and Mi-jin are present from before. Just then, Ju-won says to his mom, "Transfer me to abroad." But mom refuses and says, "You have to take your brother's place and become president next year." Saying this, mom goes into her room. So Ju-won also goes behind her, so that she transfers him abroad. But his mom says, "Now it is late now, we cannot do anything." So Ju-won with tears eyes says, "You can never become a mom like a chairwoman and cannot take decision, and when will I be able to tolerate this I also do not know." Saying this, he goes from there and directly goes to Yoon Seo's house and says, "I came here leaving everything, I have no place to go anywhere else." And then he hugs Yoon Seo. Just then, from room, Ji-suk, Lee and Bae come out and seeing them get shocked. And Lee says, "You both came together?" And then everyone sits together where before everyone asks something, Yoon Seo tells, "We both were dating each other from last 1 year and 6 months, and now 1 month before we broke up, and now nothing is between us." And then Yoon Seo takes Ju-won out to talk and says, "You came leaving everything, what is meaning of this?" So Ju-won says, "I left everything, and I am not feeling good. It is looking that whatever you like, you have to leave that. I am not able to do anything." Yoon Seo says, "After all this, what is going to happen? You do not need to do all this." Ju-won says, "You are okay. Did everyone come to know about our relationship?" Yoon Seo says, "You do not need to worry, I am going finishing my last project, and anyway, our breakup has happened, so it does not make any difference to me, you should also go to your home." Saying this, Yoon Seo goes inside. But there Lee says, "We support you." And then she and Bae leave. So Kim I-rae also goes with them. So Ji-suk comes and hugs Yoon Seo and says, "We have come to know that you broke up with him for this reason because his mom was not agreeing." Hearing this, Yoon Seo gets angry and phoning Kim. I-rae says, "Why did you tell all this to them?" So Kim I-rae says, "Because these all were calling you cold-hearted due to which I could not stay, but I did not tell this that for breakup you took money from his mom." Hearing this, Yoon Seo says, "Thank you good you did not tell them this." In the next scene, when Yoon Seo goes office, so their Lee and Bae make Yoon Seo feel quite uncomfortable, meaning they start caring for Yoon Seo a lot. But Yoon Seo gets irritated and says, "Please stop consoling me, and caring for me behave like before you did not know." So Lee and Bae say, "How can we do like this?" So Yoon Seo says, "Here in work so many people's breakup happens, but even then, they do good work. But you people doing all this, why are you annoying me?" Ju-won also listens to all these talks of hers. So Yoon Seo seeing him leaves from there. So Bae says to Ju-won, "Seems Yoon Seo is feeling uncomfortable that we came to know about you both's relationship." And then when Yoon Seo is alone in meeting room, so there, Ju-won comes and says to her, "I shift my office somewhere else." So Yoon Seo says, "No need for this, I am anyway going to quit." So Ju-won says, "To see you, I kept my cabin there, if you only will not stay. Then what is meaning of all this?" Hearing this, Yoon Seo says, "These things are how easy for you, no? Can leave any time, or can change cabin, and if you leave everything for me, then you know how I will feel? Because the person who never suffered anything, he will have to suffer so much because of me. And this all you are not doing for me, rather for yourself. If going forward you meet such girl who says to you to leave everything for her, then remember this that she does not like you." Hearing this, Ju-won getting annoyed says to her, "I am not able to think about any new relationship." "How can you think? I wanted that. I earned things from myself first time in my life without my mom. I found something, and that was you. So how can I leave you so easily? I think this every time that somewhere I do not hurt you, so how can you do like this with me?" Saying this, he leaves. After this, Yoon Seo goes out. So Bae says to her, will you meet Headhunter? He wants to meet you since long time. So Yoon Seo says yes. So Bae says, you do not know. He was after me since when? And then he sends Yoon Seo to meet him now. So Yoon Seo goes to meet that man where he gives her business card. Seeing which, getting shocked, she asks, do people get introduced like this nowadays? Hearing this, Yoon Seo gets a little confused. So that headhunter says, we have come on blind date, no? I requested Bae many times to meet you. So Yoon Seo, getting shocked, says, I did not know this is blind date and do not tell Bae that I am leaving job. On which he says, okay, and says, why don't we do lunch together? On the other side, Bae tells Lee, Yoon Seo went on a blind date and this thing will help her forget the director. Just then, Ju-won listens to these talks of theirs, and here that person asks Yoon Seo, what is your preference of food? So Yoon Seo tells, I like spicy food, on which that person says, I do not like spicy food at all. So Yoon Seo remembers, Ju-won didn't like spicy food at all, and he used to eat happily for me. And after that he asks her about movie, but Yoon Seo says that I like horror movies. But he says, day before yesterday I said I do not like movie at all. Hearing this, she remembers Ju-won again when she had said to Ju-won, if you really like someone, then the things you do not like, you will do those also, no? So Ju-won says, better than this will be the things we both like, we do those. After this, when Yoon Seo reaches office, so there Ju-won was talking to Bae. But seeing Yoon Seo, he goes into his cabin. So Lee tells her, boss came to know that you went on blind date. Hearing this, Ju-won, Yoon Seo, gets shocked. But then she thinks, okay, only with this he will hate me anyway, where will this happy breakup happen? In the next scene, Siwon thinks, I should talk to Mijin. That is why he calls Mijin and invites on dinner. So Mijin asks him, come to a restaurant. When Siwon goes to that restaurant, so there Mijin's other friends had also come. Seeing this, Siwon gets shocked and saying hello to all of them, takes Mijin out and says, what is this all? I called you on dinner so you brought so many people? Mijin says, because our plans were already from before. So Siwon says, why did you not tell me you have to do dinner with me? Mijin says, you did not tell me that you have to do dinner with me. Siwon says, our problem is this, only that we cannot communicate. And anyway, now I have met them, so I am going home. I have to do some talk with you, we will do coming home, and I will not come in front of those people because I am little shy type person. Saying this, he leaves, and sitting home he was eating simple dinner. Just then, Mijin comes there and says, better than this you could do dinner there. So Siwon says, I have to do some talk with you. And then sitting together, both talk where Siwon says, you cannot give me announcement every time, you will have to tell me some things before, like without saying anything you took transfer here. So Mijin says, my dad did all this. So Siwon says, but you could tell me changing of schedule by calling. Mijin says, I felt you do not like keeping contract with me more. So Siwon says, nothing like that. And both say yes to talk to each other. So Siwon says, I know we did marriage only for family, that is why we should cooperate nicely. Mijin says, it is not like that when I met you in flight, then you looked good person to me, that is why I married you. Now we see a scene from the past, when Mijin was sleeping on flight and she was feeling very cold. So seeing this, Siwon puts his blanket over her. Seeing this, Mijin becomes very happy. Now in the present scene, Siwon says, means you were impressed from my sweet and tender side? But Mijin says, nothing like that. Saying this, getting nervous, she leaves. So seeing her, Siwon says, this girl's choice is very good. After this, when Yoon Seo is sitting alone just then, she checks her mobile. So there she had got lots of messages and calls of Bae, in which they tell there is an accusation of plagiarism on company's artist. Hearing this, Yoon Seo quickly goes to Min's studio, where wrapping of painting was going on. So Lee and Bae tell Ju-won handled everything very nicely. Hearing this, Yoon Seo going to Ju-won says sorry to him. So Ju-won says, you took leave on such time and switched off your phone? Also, you were going to wrap this project nicely, no? You made me very disappointed. Saying this, Ju-won leaves. So Yoon Seo feels quite bad and thinks, first I wanted him to hate me, but now, when he is doing like this in real with me, so why am I feeling bad? Just then, studio's artist comes there, and this was the same person who used to message Yoon Seo. And this artist Ju-won had called, and his name is Min. He says to Ju-won, due to some problem I could not say yes to you people. And then he says hello to Yoon Seo. So Yoon Seo also to him speaks hi, seeing which Ju-won was feeling a little strange. Now after working all night, their work was done. So Lee and Yoon Seo leave from there. Then Bae tells Ju-won, After your breakup, I only arranged that blind date for Yoon Seo without telling Yoon Seo. Just then, artist Min comes there and says, seems you were doing some important talk. Saying this, he leaves. Then Ju Won remembers, when I called Min for the first time, he asked about Yoon Seo first. Will she also come here? On the other side, Yoon Seo is at a coffee shop. Just then, Min comes there and says, shall we go on meal? So Yoon Seo says, no, this will not suit. And then she starts leaving. But just then, Min calls her. Seeing this, Yoon Seo gets angry, and this time she was going to put his number in spam. But just then, Min comes and stops her and says, how can you put me in spam in front of me? Seeing this, Yoon Seo gets fully shocked. Just then, Ju Won comes there, who sees Min holding Yoon Seo's hand. But Yoon Seo freeing her hand goes to Ju Won. So Ju Won says, do you really want to move forward with time? But I am not going to do this. I am not going to love anyone else except you. And then Ju Won holding Yoon Seo's hand starts making her sit in his car. But Min comes and stops Yoon Seo and asks her, do lunch with me. And both then holding Yoon Seo's hand, start pulling her that she will go with him. So Yoon Seo freeing Min's hand, gets ready to walk with Ju Won. So just then on back seat, Min also comes and sits and says, I also have to go to that side. So that is why unwillingly also Ju Won has to take him with him. And then Yoon Seo looks back, so Min writing on window asks her, is this your ex-boyfriend? So Yoon Seo signals him to erase this all. Seeing which Ju Won gets surprised and asks Min, how do you know Yoon Seo? So Min says, we met due to wrong number text and she was thinking me her ex. So Ju Won also remembers that message talk. So Min says, seems we talked little too nicely, we became familiar. Hearing this, Yoon Seo says, you yourself were messaging me. And then Min tells Yoon Seo, save my number. Hearing this, Ju Won takes car a little ahead and then stops. Seeing this, Yoon Seo remembers he does like this to take revenge, because he did like this with Bai also. After this, when they reach near river, so Yoon Seo says, why were you taking revenge? You do not need to tease him. Ju Won says, when was I teasing him? And how I do not tease when someone is showing interest in you. So Yoon Seo says, nothing like that, I am just doing my work and you were disappointed with me yesterday, no? Ju Won says, I was angry on going to your blind date. So Yoon Seo getting annoyed, tells everything Bae sent me there knowing this. Yoon Seo gets happy. So Yoon Seo says, this is not right, we are still holding this field, we should leave this. Saying this, she gets out of car. So Ju Won says to her, you can live without love, or can move on but I not. And then he tells Yoon Seo, hold my hand. So Yoon Seo hitting on his hand says, after everything happened, why do we always come to this point? Saying this, Yoon Seo leaves. In the next scene, Lee, Bai, Yoon Seo, and Min are doing dinner together and talking also. So Lee asks all of them, let's take a selfie together. When they are taking selfie, so Min gets close to Yoon Seo. On the other side, as meeting finishes, Ju Won checks his mobile. So seeing Yoon Seo and Min's selfie there, he gets jealous and asks Si-won, give me Min's information. So Si-won tells, Min is from a rich family, his parents are in politics. But leaving his family, he became an artist. I feel he is also same, like you are also like this. And by the way, why are you asking about him? And then Si-won sees that selfie. So Ju Won tells he is behind Yoon Seo fell. And just now, how much time is in our flight going? So Si-won says, time is lying right now. So Ju Won getting sad was going to hotel. So seeing this, Si-won remembers, when I was dating Yoon Seo, then how happy I was. Thinking this, Si-won getting emotional stops Ju Won, and in romantic way says, you go right now from helicopter, bring your love back, I will support you, do not worry about mom, I will handle her. Hearing this, Ju Won gets emotional and both hug each other, and right there on the other side, these all were drinking. So Yoon Seo asks all of them, finish food quickly. So Min refuses and says, right now I ordered more food. Just then, Ju Won comes there. So Yoon Seo getting shocked asks, you hear how? So Ju Won tells, Bae was calling me again and again, that is why I came. And then, keeping chair between Min and Yoon Seo, he sits. Just then, Lee tells them, let's walk in bar. So Yoon Seo refuses. Lee was drunk, that is why she says, you are embarrassed because of director. No? So Yoon Seo also gets ready to walk. And then when everyone goes in bar, so there, Yoon Seo brings Ju Won aside and says, what are you doing here? Ju Won says, I was worrying for you. But just then, Lee comes there and says, did you both come together again? And then getting happy takes them with her, where in bar, these all drink a lot. Next day when Yoon Seo's eye opens, so she sees she is in Min's studio. In front, Ju Won was also sleeping on carpet. Just then his eye also opens, so they remember the talk of night. Now we see scene of past that at night when Yoon Seo and Ju Won were drunk, so Min was handling them. So Yoon Seo says to Ju Won, I know I am little too attractive, that is why you are not able to forget me. And if you were little less handsome, how good it would be. Now in the present scene as Min comes there, so Ju Won and Yoon Seo get embarrassed. So Min says, I know you are embarrassed. Just then, Yanseo says, this all happened because of you people. I wanted to finish everything soon, and now such should never happen. Saying this, Yanseo starts leaving. So Ju-won and Min tell her, eat something for hangover. But refusing both of them, she runs from there. In the next scene, news spreads on internet that Min is son of a politics man, and because of them, Min was welcomed so nicely in event. Or because of him, other companies are also running well. Hearing this news, Yoon-seo goes to Min. So Min tells her, my dad cleared everything in first conference that I have no relation with him. Hearing this, Yoon-seo gets relaxed. So Min insists her, but Yoon-seo leaves with him. So Min takes her to a beach and tells her, my dad is a very strange person who does not behave with others nicely. In his party, a human helped me for painting. So due to that reason, my dad removed that person from party. Just due to this reason, I wanted to say sorry to them. But when I messaged them, so by mistake, it went to you. And then Min, to make his mind light, goes to a peaceful place with Yoon-seo, where Min and Yoon-seo make painting. Seeing Yoon-seo's painting, Min starts laughing. So Yoon-seo says to him, you are spending very good life and I feel like praising you for that. And then as she encourages Min, so both looking at each other, start laughing. But just then, Ju-won sees both of them. So Yoon-seo seeing Ju-won becomes serious. But Ju-won comes to them with serious face and says to Yoon-seo, thank you for doing everything nicely here. And says to Min, thank you for your dad's cooperation. And then he leaves from there. Seeing whose reaction both get shocked. So Ju-won while going remembers something. Now we see scene of past when Ju-won is with Si-won. Then he gets Yoon-seo's message, I am going to Min for work. Seeing this, Ju-won was feeling uncomfortable and was going to tell this to Si-won. So Si-won stops him and says, I do not want to interfere in your love life, but seeing your condition looks like now I to you have to do something now. You do not have to go to him first. You have to distance Yoon-seo from yourself and then pull her near yourself. With this, she will know your lack. Now, in the present scene, remembering this, Ju-won gets happy and says, now I will do like this. In the next scene, when Yoon-seo goes to office, so Bae and Lee tell her, Ju-won is changing his office. And then, as Ju-won comes out taking his luggage, so Bae asks him, why are you changing your office? So Ju-won says, I have to do many meetings with other department right now, so it will be good that I go there. Saying this, he leaves, and then Yoon-seo listens to Bae and Lee talking. Lee was saying, I feel Ju-won will forget Yoon-seo fully now. And now they moved office also, so now everything finished between them. Hearing this, Yoon-seo gets sad. After this, when they were doing all meetings, so Yoon-seo thinks, I felt he will not come in meeting also because he does not want to see my face. And then Yoon-seo starts giving her ideas, but Ju-won was rejecting her every advice rudely. Even when Yoon-seo wanted to order something for lunch, so Ju-won refusing her dish orders, some other dish, and Si-won had eaten that to do all this. Seeing this, Yoon-seo gets very angry. So Lee and Bae calm her down. After this, Yoon-seo goes out, so seeing Ju-won with some other girl, she remains shocked. But just then listens from some people, this is Ju-won's sister-in-law. So Yoon-seo thinks, I wanted that he gets some good girl or he moves on. But thinking this, Yoon-seo starts feeling very jealous and uncomfortable. And here Ju-won as he goes near lift, so says to Mi-jin, now you can leave my hand. So Mi-jin says, I was just walking holding your hand due to heels. Do you fear misunderstanding? Is any girlfriend here of yours? On which Ju-won says yes and says, keep this secret, and I will also keep secret from brother that I met you. On which Mi-jin says, okay. In the next scene, when Yoon-seo wakes up in morning so she comes to know, today is my birthday. So as she goes out so their Ji-suk had kept breakfast ready for her. And then Yoon-seo sees a locket which Ju-won had given her and every time wished her. Remembering all this, Yoon-seo gets sad. On the other side, Ju-won is also sitting very sad and says, today's day is truly very tough because today is Yoon-seo's birthday. Hearing this, Si-won says, so did you not do anything? Ju-won says, you only refused. So Si-won getting shocked says, but now is good time call her for dinner at a fancy restaurant. Just then, Ju-won says, she doesn't like all this likes spicy things. So Si-won says, okay, book such place and ring also. Hearing this, Ju-won takes out ring from his pocket, seeing which Si-won gets happy that he has kept preparation from before only. And then Ju-won messages Yoon-seo, will you go out somewhere with me today? So Yoon-seo gives no reply to this. That is why Ju-won gets sad and goes to Yoon-seo's home. But Yoon-seo is not there. So Ju-won calls her, But Yoon Seo does not pick his call also. Here, Yoon Seo gets sad, remembering about her mom because today her mom's death had happened. That is why she was drinking. Just then, Min also comes to same restaurant for some work, so goes sitting near Yoon Seo and asks her, what happened? So Yoon Seo says, today I came to know that her death happened, but I just wanted that she says sorry to me. Was saying sorry so difficult? Hearing all this, first Min does not understand anything, but he still starts listening to Yoon Seo's talk. So Yoon Seo says, she never did good, but even then I felt little different. After her death, maybe now, with age, I am becoming little weak. And when you told me your dad does violence, then I had sympathy for you. Because I also passed through all this, my parents were also like this, I hated my mom. But now I did not feel good because her death happened, and on this movement I am missing her only the most who told me in life that she is happy because I was born. Saying all this, Yoon Seo sleeps right there. So Min looks at her mobile in which Ju Won's lots of calls had come. So Min calls Ju Won. So hearing his voice, Ju Won gets shocked. So Min says, Yoon Seo is drunk, that is why come and take her. Little later, Ju Won comes there and asks Min, what happened to Yoon Seo? So Min says, you like each other, so how did you break up? Ju Won says, you do not need to know. So Min says, then handle all this. And why she drank, I cannot tell this, you ask her only tomorrow. Saying this, Min leaves. So Ju Won takes Yoon Seo to her home. But just then Yoon Seo's eye opens, so she says, what happened? So Ju Won says, you became drunk, that is why I came to pick you. And then Ju Won says, sorry whatever I did wrong and today I was not with you for that also. Yoon Seo says, no need to say sorry, it is good only that we are getting far. And from now, if ever my call or message comes, do not pay attention on that. Ju Won says, how can I ignore? So Yoon Seo goes leaving without saying anything, and going inside sees that Jisuk has slept. But on her coming, he wakes up and says, I thought that today we will eat food together, but you started coming very late and started drinking too much. So Yoon Seo says, our mom's death happened, we should go there. Hearing this, Jisuk gets angry and says, we will not do anything like this. I remember well what that woman did. She used to beat you becoming drunk and she never fed me food. Also just, you only used to protect me. Hearing this, Yoon Seo gets emotional. Next day, Yoon Seo goes to funeral center and says to herself, after all, what am I doing here? Just then, Ju Won comes there. So Yoon Seo says, how you knew I am here? So Ju Won says, Jisuk told me to take care of you. Hearing this, Yoon Seo getting angry says, I do not consider such lady my mom, I am not sad at all, that is why you go from here. And just then tears come in Yoon Seo's eyes. So Ju Won says, if you are not sad, then why are you crying? Saying this, he hugs Yoon Seo. So Yoon Seo also hugging him starts crying loudly, and then both sit at one place. So Yoon Seo says, I was embarrassed that you came to see me at such time. So Ju Won says, sorry, and says, I know I should not have come here, but when I knew you are alone, I could not stop myself. So Yoon Seo says, what did Jisuk tell you? Ju Won says, that how you ran from home and how tough life you spent. So Yoon Seo says, you came to know that how bad my life remained, that is why I wanted happy life for myself. Saying this, she tells him, leave. And as she goes little ahead, so Ju Won says to her, we marry. Hearing this, Yoon Seo gets shocked. So Ju Won taking out ring says, I am happy born and I want to spend good life with you, that is why we do marriage. After this, Yoon Seo goes to her home and looks at Ring and starts thinking when Ju Won had proposed her. So Yoon Seo had said that this all will happen suddenly, no? So Ju Won says, I think this every time. And then giving ring to Yoon Seo says, think about this taking time comfortably. In the next scene, days keep passing like this. Ju Won was feeling time is going very fast. That is why he sometimes comes to Si-won to drink, sometimes bringing his files. But as Ju Won again goes in Si-won's office, so Si-won hitting him with paper says, go from here because today again you have come to trouble me. Ju Won had said, give answer to Yoon Seo comfortably, but now he was not waiting. In the next scene, when Ju Won's mom comes to know that Ju Won proposed Yoon Seo, so she tells Ju Won, go to Spain. When Ju Won was going to Spain, so he messages Yoon Seo, I am going to Spain. Hearing this, Yoon Seo gets shocked and goes to meet Ju Won at airport. So seeing him, she gets surprised. So Yoon Seo says, if I felt that today I did not tell my true feeling, then I will never be able to tell. I like you a lot, and I cannot be separate from you. From now I will chase you. Hearing this, Ju Won gets very happy, and both hug each other. Just then, Yoon Seo gets back, seeing Si-won and his assistant behind. So Si-won says, I came here to pick Ju Won, but I got to see such good scene here. And Yoon Seo, you do not need to wait more. Ju Won will come back in 5 days. Saying this, Si-won leaves. So Yoon Seo getting shocked asks, your transfer is not happening there? So Ju Won says, look, whatever you said, will you not flip from that? Yoon Seo says, not at all. So So Ju-won, hugging her, says, "Look, why do I have to go on business trip this very day?" After this, as Ju-won reaches Hotel of Spain, so he messages Yoon-seo, "I am missing you." So Yoon-seo with "miss you" message sends heart also. Seeing this, Ju-won gets quite happy. In the next scene, Yoon-seo goes to drop Ji-suk for his entrance exam, and leaving him as she looks back, so there is Ju-won. Yoon-seo says, "You hear how?" So Ju-won says, "I told you, know that I will come on Ji-suk's entrance exam day." So Yoon-seo gets quite happy. Ju-won says, "Today we do not go office, go somewhere out. I was waiting for this from how many days?" So Yoon-seo, scolding him, says, "No, this is work time, that is why we should go in company." Hearing this, Ju-won says, "After how much time you are scolding me, scold a little more. No?" Hearing this, Yoon-seo starts laughing, and then both go to company. After this, Bae was crying a lot and says, "Only my promotion did not happen? Rather that Lee's promotion also happened. Director is a two-faced human, what I did not feed him." So Yoon-seo consoles Bae and says, "Director cannot do anything." Bae says, "It is not like that he can take decision, and good that you broke up with that human." Just then, Ju-won comes there. So Yoon-seo tells him, "Go," and then messages him, "Environment here is bad. Bae did not get promotion, that is why I cannot come on lunch today." In the next scene at night, Yoon-seo asks Ju-won on call, "Walk on dinner." But just then, Lee's call comes to her, and she says, "Bae got fully drunk," and saying that he will put your and Ju-won's relationship in company's block. Hearing this, Yoon-seo quickly goes there. So just then, Bae gets his mom's call. So Bae says to her, "Yes, my promotion happened right now. I am celebrating with my friends." Saying this, he keeps the call and again starts complaining about Ju-won and says, "How can Lee be promoted? She didn't work also." Hearing this, Lee shouts in anger, "How much work I used to do." Just then, Yoon-seo gets Ju-won's call. He says, "You were going to quit, that is why I applied for team leader post for Bae and thought that I will tell later." Hearing this, Yoon-seo starts thinking, "Should I tell Bae?" But just then, Ju-won comes there. So Bae, grabbing his collar, starts complaining to him. So Yoon-seo says, "I am quitting, so after that post will be yours." Hearing this, Bae falls down and says sorry to him. And right there on the other side, Si-won and Mi-jin walking outside were talking. Just then, Mi-jin gets a push of someone, so she was about to fall, but Si-won catches her and says, "I like you a lot." And here Yoon-seo and Ju-won walking alone. So Ju-won says, "Finally, now we are alone, and I never waited for anyone like this before." But just then, Ju-won gets an important call. So Yoon-seo tells him to pick. After this, Yoon-seo is in that hotel where Ju-won lives, and just then Ju-won also comes there finishing work. Seeing whom here, Yoon-seo says, "How much you are tolerating because of me." Ju-won says, "You worry, I will go back soon. Thank you that you came back to me." And then both start kissing each other. Now Ju-won comes to drop Yoon-seo to her home, so both were talking nicely to each other. Just then, Yoon-seo gets Ji-suk's call that, "I am outside right now." So Yoon-seo tells him, "Come back home in 1 hour." Hearing this, Ju-won starts thinking something, and then he goes behind Yoon-seo to her house and says, "There is little time and Ji-suk's coming. Till then, I stay here." Yoon-seo refuses him. So behaving in cute way, Ju-won tells her, "Make hot chocolate." So Yoon-seo starts making hot chocolate for him. Seeing this, Ju-won going to her kisses her. So Yoon-seo moving him says, "Ji-suk will come." Due to which, Ju-won has to leave. And before going says, "I want that we marry soon and stay together." Hearing this, Yoon-seo starts feeling shy. So Ju-won says, "You haven't given me answer yet." So Yoon-seo says, "Will I have to give answer by saying yes?" So Ju-won saying, "Yes," goes from there. So Yoon-seo thinks, "How will I say this?" In the next scene, when Yoon-seo goes company, so she swipes her card which was not working. That is why she gives it to security guard to check. So security guard says, "Now you are not employee of this company, that is why this is not working." Hearing this, Yoon-seo understands. Who would have done this? And then Yoon-seo taking luggage from her desk is going. So Lee says to her, "There was time and you're going. No, so why going now?" So Yoon-seo says, "No problem anyway, project complete, I was going to leave." Just then, Ju-won comes there, and seeing Yoon-seo packing gets angry and starts leaving. But Yoon-seo stopping him takes him to side and says, "Today I went to give money to your mom." Ju-won says, "Why did you not tell me?" Yoon-seo says, "You do not need to worry, now everything is fine, and anyway I was going to quit." And this all Ju-won's mom only got done. In the next scene, when Min comes to know about this, so he gets happy and tells Yoon-seo, "Walk on dinner with me." But just then, Ju-won comes there, and he pulls Yoon-seo towards him, and Min towards himself. So Yoon-seo, getting annoyed, says, "Min told me first, that is why I will go with Min." Hearing this, Ju-won gets sad. But Yoon-seo says, "We will go together." Hearing this, Ju-won gets happy. And then everyone goes there. So Ju-won says to Min, you brought girl to this place whose boyfriend is already. Min says, this is normal place, and you should also say thank you to Yunseo like this place. And anyway, you should say thank you to me because due to me you are with Yunseo that day. After becoming drunk I called you, and at time of your Spain going, also I told Yunseo to go behind you. Hearing this, Ju-won says, without me, you must have done lot of talks. Just then, Yunseo gets Ji-suk's call, so she leaves from there. So Min says, I like you and Yunseo, and your mom is not approving your relationship. So Ju-won says, I will do everything for her, and I am showing mom that without arranged marriage also I can handle company. So Min says, how much time Yunseo has to wait for this? Ju-won says, I will leave everything for her. So Min says, you cannot do like this I can do because you have to protect Yunseo with yourself. Ju-won says, then what should I do? Min says, you should go your home first like you have to protect something anyway. You want to protect your mom. Also, you look that and talk to your mom nicely. Hearing this, Ju-won says, okay. Just then, Yunseo comes back there, so she sees these two are sitting quite drunk, and Ju-won says, Min is quite good human. Hearing this, Yunseo gets shocked. So Min says, I am big from you talk nicely. So Ju-won calls him senior and says, I respect you that you are following your dream which I could not do, and then gets sad. So Min consoles him. And then they go to a place where Min and Ju-won sing song for Yunseo, and three enjoy a lot. In the next scene, morning when Ju-won wakes up so he remembers what happened at night. Now we see scene of past when Ju-won goes home and shouting at his mom greets her and says, App, how can you do like this with Yunseo? She is such good employee. Hearing this, mom says, we will talk tomorrow. So Ju-won getting sad says, can you not accept my one talk first time I am asking something? Now in the present scene as Si-won comes to eat breakfast, so Mi-jin says good morning to him. But Si-won does not give nice reply to her and starts eating his toast. So Mi-jin gives coffee to him and says, I made extra and this is better like your first love. So Si-won says, will you date with me? Mi-jin says, our marriage already happened. So Si-won says, I do not know how we should go with this process and do you like me? Mi-jin says yes. So Si-won getting happy says, then we can live like normal couple. Mi-jin says yes, and then both start kissing each other. On the other side, Ju-won goes to parking for going home. Just then there, Yunseo comes and says, I am unemployed. That is why I came to pick my boyfriend. I have to go somewhere, so we go there. Seeing this, Ju-won gets happy, and then both go for camping. So both become very happy, and at night when they were sitting in front of fire, so Ju-won says sorry and thank you to her, and says, because of me, you had to fire. But Yunseo says, I felt little bad first, but now everything is fine and your mom is also ready to talk to us. What can be better than this? And then showing her ring to Ju-won, Yunseo says, I love you, and says, yes for marriage. Hearing this, Yunseo gets quite happy. In the next scene, Ju-won's mom calls Yunseo. When Yunseo goes to her, so mom says, I approve for your and Ju-won's marriage, but in exchange, you have to handle our scholarship foundation because you are from a poor family and this thing will remain justified for you. And then going, this will look like a fairy tale. You have to live becoming a Cinderella. In the next scene, on Yunseo's saying Ju-won and Si-won take mom on trip, where on way gas of their car finishes. So mom shouts at Si-won and says, you should check at least once that car has gas or not. So Si-won says, I never checked gas in my car. And then she tells mom and Ju-won, push car, so that he can put it on side. Hearing this, mom says, now I have to do this work also? So Si-won says, by the way, I do not want but you do not have driver license. That is why mom and Ju-won start pushing car where mom gets breathless at once. Seeing whom doing like this, Ju-won starts clicking her photo. And just then Si-won also joins them and three together start taking selfie. And then from nearby stall, Si-won brings coffee for them and says, this is not expensive but sweet. So his mom refuses to drink this first and says, I am controlling my glucose. But then she drinks taking coffee which looks good to her also. And then mom says, we will support you only. But just then sound starts coming from mom's stomach. So Si-won goes to nearby stall to take toast. So Ju-won's mom asks him, whose idea was this to take me on trip? It cannot be you people's, surely Mi-jin's. So Ju-won says, this was Yunseo's idea. So mom says, when I met Yunseo, what talk happened between us and do you know about this talk? So Ju-won says yes. So Ju-won's mom says, you are not angry. So Ju-won says, Yunseo stopped me that I can never do anger but right now I should console you. Then mom says, when I told her all this so she told me that about this you should never know and talk of her family background when comes in front of everyone. Then it will look like that your mom did not get this done because with this you will feel bad. And then mom says, that time I was thinking only about family but she was still thinking about you. She is very good girl and gives you a good family. You tell her that no need to tell her family background and your marriage will happen. Hearing this, Ju-won gets happy. Just then, Siwon comes taking toast, and three together eat it. Now we see scene after 2 months where Yoon Seo and Ju-won's wedding picture was put. And then, as Ju-won wakes up, so in front of him, Siwon is lying. Seeing this, Ju-won shouts and says, "Why did you come here and sleep?" So Siwon says, "After marriage cannot do this, no? You know with how difficulty I requested Mi-jin and came here." So Ju-won says, "No need for all this." In the next scene, Yoon Seo and Mi-jin drink together and then in drunk condition go to Ju-won's mom's house and start shouting loudly. But mom cannot listen to their voice because she was listening to music. Just then from behind, Ju-won and Siwon come and take both of them with them. And then morning when Yoon Seo's eye opens, so she gets embarrassed remembering talk of night. And just then, messaging Ju-won tells him, "Bring hangover medicine." Then, when Ju-won brings medicine so he sees Yoon Seo making food, seeing whom he starts looking with love. Just then, Yoon Seo also notices Ju-won and says, "I made food for you." Hearing this, Ju-won gets happy and then both together start eating food. And as Ju-won tries food, so it is not good at all. So Yoon Seo says, "In all these, I made only this." That is why Ju-won, praising her falsely, says, "This is made very good, no problem in this." And then, after eating food, both go on walk, where Yoon Seo shows invitation card to Ju-won, and both get very happy again. After this, these two go to give invitation card to Lee and Bae. So Bae says, "This is not looking real at all, and somewhere after marriage, Yoon Seo suffer properly. And when she eats food, then due to not knowing table manner, chairwoman will scold her." Just then, Ju-won coming says, "Nothing like that will happen. Looks like you watch drama a little too much." Hearing this, Bae starts laughing and says, "Yes, from now I will stop watching TV." In the next scene, Ju-won and Yoon Seo's marriage is happening, where Yoon Seo sitting in wedding gown says to herself, "For Cinderella, that 2 a.m. time was with fear and excitement also. If you know that forward is hardship, so you also keep moving on. And real-time story ending happens that is better than fairy tale also." Just then, Ju-won brings heels for her and puts them on her. And then these two go on stage where everyone claps for them. And then these two kiss each other and their happy wedding happens. And right here, happy ending of our drama happens.